Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle here. The I Got Soul in Stereo podcast is back. I've got Tom with me. Ed is what's Ed doing, Tom?
No idea. He's a man of mystery sometimes. He doesn't really let us know. He's just not available.
I think he might be sleeping right now. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time, which means it's like 7 in his place. He's probably sleeping.
He's not that old, is he?
I was actually waiting on him to get on this podcast so I can ask if people were actually calling women tenderonis before, but we'll have to wait until next time.
That sounds like an 80s thing.
Well, Tom, we have a lot to talk about right now. Obviously, the Grammy nominations just came out. A lot of different categories for R&B. I got to actually pull up the nominations right now, but what are your overall thoughts on what you saw at the time?
First of all, I don't think we've been able to stop talking about how Maya got nominated. Not because it's a joke, because we're happily surprised. She pretty much put out her album, Smooth Jones, by herself, funded herself, her own label. No one helped her, and it's just a shock. I don't really know if we've seen someone go that route and get nominated. So I thought that was a big achievement. And hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Other than that, I was happy to see a bunch of different indie R&B artists get nominated. You had the usual, typical major label nominations. I'm not even mad at those. It happens every year. But then you had Music Soul Child, Layla Hathaway. Who else? I'm trying to remember offhand. I'm pulling up the list too.
Well, I have the list right now, but onto that point, with Layla Hathaway and Music Soul Child, and also Maya, Music and Layla Hathaway have been nominated for Grammys in the past, so I guess it kind of made sense that they would get nominated again, even though they are indie, just because their names are, they've been nominated before, but Maya, like you said, was a huge shocker. I don't even know where that came from, and not to say the album was bad, because I enjoyed it, but being that Maya's been gone for so long from the public eye, it's like, who nominated it?
Yeah, can we mention that funny thing you told me? We won't mention the artist's name, but you had asked me nowadays if artists even know how to submit themselves for Grammy consideration, because it's not automatic. You looked up the rules, right?
Yeah, I looked up the rules, and as at the end of the day, with anything that's going on, whether it's an award show or business, there's money involved. It does get political, and I think the Grammy is no different. From the artist standpoint, you got to submit your album to the Grammy committee, and I don't know if because going independent for an R&B artist is such a new thing still. I don't know if they really know how to do that. And as I was looking up the rules, and I could be wrong on this, so somebody should correct me, but it looks like you got to pay $100 to be a Grammy member, and then after that you're able to submit your music to get nominated for awards. And I don't know, maybe some independent artists, it's hard out here. Maybe they couldn't put in that $100.
Yeah, but imagine this: if you're an independent artist and your manager, as we've talked about, I think on Twitter you talked about recently, you hired your best friend as your manager with no industry experience. How are they going to know where to pay the $100, who to send their songs to, etc.? So it's realistic that they didn't even. I have one name. I'm not going to name this artist, but it's realistic that this artist probably didn't even submit at all, which is sad.
I can think about 10 other that probably didn't do the same. But I just want to quickly go through the nominations, and a lot of people that we love, a lot of people that we definitely support, and a lot of people that have showed us love in the past as well. Best R&B performance, we've got BJ the Chicago Kid, who's supported us. Ro James, who we've been following since the beginning. Music Soul Child, who one of our biggest supporters. Solange, who I think rightfully deserves that nomination, and Rihanna, who I think is your favorite artist, Tom.
My favorite R&B artist. Yep. It's amazing that Music Soul Child and Ro James are facing off with Rihanna in a category called R&B.
Yeah, I really don't understand that one.
What's funny? I will say one thing though. Remember how we used to ask, "Is this song R&B?" We used to play a song and say, "Is this R&B? Should we post it?" How does the Grammys know what's R&B? How do they determine if something is R&B?
I don't know. I mean, they have a committee. I don't know if everyone from that committee votes on every single nomination, or if they, segregate it based on the expertise of each member. I don't know. We need to do our Google research on that. I think, Tom, we need to submit that $100 and become members ourselves.
Do we get a vote?
And then we can change things around here.
And then do we get to vote?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Imagine
But
us.
we'll figure that out.
We'd be in the meetings, fighting with everyone over these nominations. I already know it.
It's like, no, not this one, not that one. But that's our best R&B performance. And strangely enough, now, Tom, there's something called the best traditional R&B performance. Wouldn't you say "I Do" by Musiq Soulchild is traditional R&B?
Well, yeah, this doesn't really make any sense. How is BJ the Chicago Kid in both categories? What's the difference?
Well, the best traditional R&B performance, you've got William Bell, BJ the Chicago Kid, Fantasia, Layla Hathaway, and Jill Scott. Not a lot of complaints there. I think you had made a mention that BJ Chicago Kid, he was nominated a couple of times, and his album is actually pretty solid, but I don't know, that was interesting just to see BJ get so much love from the Grammys.
What do you mean not a lot of complaints? We don't even know who William Bell is.
Hold on, let me click on his Wikipedia.
I'm serious.
He's 70. Hold on, he's 77 years old. Let him have his Grammy nomination.
Let's keep it real though. You can't be like there's no complaints and you don't even know who someone is. I'm just saying.
My bad. All right, well, moving forward, we've got the best R&B song. Do we really have to go through this category?
Well, how is Maxwell in a category with these people? I don't even understand. This is like a disgrace to Maxwell.
So we've got Maxwell, we've got Party Next Door with Drake, we've got Bryson Tiller, we've got Rihanna, and we've got Tory Lanez.
Poor Maxwell. Jeez.
I sure hope he pulls through that one, because I don't know.
They're trying to send Maxwell to the grave.
Yep.
Jeez.
Best Urban Contemporary Album. We've got Beyonce, Gallant, King, Anderson .Paak, and Rihanna. I felt like if this was all just the newcomers, it would have been a pretty interesting nomination category, but then you throw Beyonce and Rihanna in there, and it doesn't look like King stands a chance.
This is just like a bunch of random people. I don't even know what this category means, but It's just like they threw a bunch of people into it. I don't understand.
And then we've got the best R&B album, BJ the Chicago Kid, Layla Hathaway's live album, Terrace Martin, Mint Condition's Christmas album, and Maya.
I know that Ed mentioned he wasn't mad at this year's, but it's a lot of random selections here. I don't know. I don't quite get it. Should we?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like, at least for me, I'm happy to see people like Mint Condition and Layla Hathaway get nominated because they're truly talented artists. But I don't know, like the album itself, it's a holiday album, and the other one is a live album. Like, how are you supposed to compare a BJ Chicago Kid album with a live album?
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
She did have a couple of new songs on it. The song "Angel" was #1 for a number of weeks, but still.
Yep.
Let's roll this into our article on the biggest snubs, because there were some people who really should have been chosen and they didn't get chosen. #1, probably top of all of our list, being Tweet with her album Charlene. That was
a solid album.
Even Monica's album, I know you like that one.
Yeah, but I don't think it. Well, here's the thing, right? Where does that Monica album fit into these categories?
Hey man,
well, first of all, I don't understand.
I'm going with conspiracy theory. The label knew they were going to drop her, so they didn't even bother to submit her.
You think that was the same thing with Usher? I think Usher.
Ooh.
Well, I'm pretty sure Usher's off RCA after this album, so.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Could have been.
If the Grammy board has ears, they probably didn't select that Usher album on purpose.
Damn, it was that hard to
Come
love,
on, man. It was. You know how much negative? We never get negative feedback like that. We saw so much negative feedback towards that Usher album. He just,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry, Usher.
We still love you.
Plus, Usher gave up on the album, which is like, that's almost like admitting to the fact that it was the wrong direction to me.
Giving up means he would have started on it. I don't think that he even bothered to promote it.
Jeez. I don't know
But
what. That was like
anyways.
a train wreck. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just run down a couple others who definitely were worthy of consideration. Fonte and Eric Roberson with their joint album. Lion Babe with their debut. Kiki Wyatt, her album Rated Love. Anthony Hamilton's album. And then Babyface and Keith Sweat. Just a few others we would have liked to see.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm glad some people did get picked. I mean, I wish we could see, like, or even interview the people who made these selections and get their, get their feedback. It'd be interesting. But
I'm actually more interested to see which albums got submitted into the Grammys for nominations. I've seen some in the past.
You were able to find that information,
I've
right?
I've seen some in the past from previous years of just the major label submissions, and literally, like, Motown submitted Neo's last album for like 20 different categories, hoping one of them would stick.
Jeez.
So,
Did it get? Did any stick?
I don't remember.
I don't think.
I want to say.
I don't think any
I want
did,
to say no.
actually.
Maybe Religious.
check
I
it.
think
I'll
that
look it up
got
real quick.
nominated. Yeah, I think Religious
That
got
sounds
nominated,
right.
but that was about it. Yeah.
I still play
Wow, we're
that
doing
album. I like
live.
it.
Yeah, it was a good album, but we're doing live Wikipedia research on our podcast. Like, how unprepared are we for this?
Well, typically people have like a staff that does this stuff behind the scenes and then hands us a piece of paper with the information. We don't have that
Yep.
benefit.
We need some interns.
Yep, we do. Disclaimer, we need interns. All right.
Yep.
And the results are in. Wait a second. This can't. Oh, wait. Here we go. No, he didn't get nominated.
Well, you can't win them all, I guess.
Damn.
But anywho, an interesting year for R&B in 2016, to say the least. I would even say that I was disappointed in 2016 R&B. Tom?
You're being nice. It was a bad year.
Yeah, it was pretty. See, I think the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go first.
Well, we started the site in 2009. And I look at this as probably up there with probably the worst year so far. I mean, well,
Is there another year you have in mind?
Well, I remember last year. Well, last year was solid. I remember 2014. I think it was being pretty average too. I'd have to do some more research, but I pretty comfortably say this is the worst one we've had. And in my opinion, it's just because the artists we cover, 90s artists, they're not releasing music as frequently. They're really not putting their effort into it like they used to because they know it's not going to sell like it used to. Like Joe was even threatening to retire, and then artists aren't on labels anymore. They don't really know what to do. So it's, man, I always say it, and I'll say it again. It's not going to come back. We're witnessing the destruction, and it's not coming back. Your turn, though.
I mean, it's scary to think about that. I think one of the things we mentioned, there's just not enough outlets for R&B artists to promote their stuff anymore. Like, at the end of the day, with them promoting their music on social media, that's cool and it's awesome to adapt with the times, but their core audience is not on social media. So it's important to find a way to connect the audience with the artist, and I'm not really sure how we're going to get to that point. I think there needs to be more TV shows, but yeah, I mean, this year was disappointing to say the least. A lot of the artists that I...
You know what I like to see, though? I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, a lot of artists that have, exceeded our expectations in the past or have really, shaped, shaped the industry and shaped the genre, they all came out with some pretty disappointing albums. Obviously Usher being one of them. Alicia Keys, I respect the album. I know what she was trying to do, but just sonically, it wasn't what I wanted from Alicia Keys. Quite frankly, the Beyonce album, I know she's more into that pop lane, but obviously she's Beyonce and she's rooted in R&B. The Lemonade album, I don't really feel like was that strong either in terms of for the genre of R&B. So, a lot of our favorites didn't really come through for us this year, and it's sort of like a trickling down effect after that.
Well, Tyrese did it with his album. He got into creative marketing. And I know he's a celebrity, so he can do some different things. But, man, these artists just aren't out there working. Like, they think the old format's still going to work where they just show up at a couple radio stations, put their single at radio, and then just put their album in Best Buy. That's not going to work anymore. Artists have to get creative with marketing to their fans. And I love what Charlie Wilson's doing with his new album that's coming out next year. Everyone who pre-orders a ticket.
I heard about that.
Yeah, if you pre-order a ticket to his tour, you get a copy of the album free. And I think that's going to be awesome for his first week sales. And I think that's the way it should be. I've been saying albums, it's going to be tough to sell them in the future. So the industry has adapted, and now it's time to see if artists are going to adapt to it. And so far, I'd say they haven't.
No, I don't think they have either. You look at some of the pop artists and, the stuff going on urban, they've gladly adapted to streaming and with Spotify and all that stuff. And, we've seen artists this year even, they put out their albums and you can't even find it on Spotify. Like Silk's album, you couldn't even find it under their page. It was under some other page. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
And, it's so sad because today I was actually looking at Bobby V's Wikipedia page, and his latest album, it's not even listed on his Wikipedia page. Like, I don't know if it's because there's no interest for Bobby V or the album, but I remember back in the day, like every R&B album would have its own Wikipedia page because there was that excitement. It was actually a major release, and now you put out an album and just no one really cares anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really nervous to see what's going to happen when Mary decides to put this next album. I was just asking when the release date is. I thought it was supposed to come out yesterday. Yep. Mary's new album.
Yep.
What is it called? I can't think of the title.
Does it have a
Scent
title?
of a Woman or something?
It has a title already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But her single went #1, and they didn't put the album out to coincide with that. So it's almost like I wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Why didn't they? Strength of a Woman. Sorry. What made them decide not to do it like that? Are they going to prepare a different type of rollout? But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. But this is like probably one of the biggest artists we have. She's got. If Mary doesn't do well, the genre is going to suffer.
100%. I mean, that single, Thick of It, that's actually climbing up urban as well. I don't know if they're trying to wait for it to catch on at urban and rhythmic and the rest of the radio before they release the album. But, I mean, if you're talking about a perfect time to release it, it was right when the single peaked at Urban AC because, at the end of the day, that's her core fan base. And if she's waiting on urban and rhythmic to pick up, I mean, good luck, but that's a tough climb right there.
That's scary if they're doing that because that's not her fans. They're not going to buy her album. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Mary's been out for almost 25 years now. She's in her mid-40s. I mean, her fans have grown with her. They're not. Kids aren't going to buy her. Oh, man. Maybe they'll stream it if anything, but I don't know, man. I mean, at the end of the day, though, on the positive side, she could tour for life. I mean, she's been on tour with Maxwell and. She could do shows forever. So this isn't going to make or break her career, this album. But you still want to see these artists do well,
All right, Tom. Pop quiz. You ready?
Shoot.
There are 4 artists or 5 artists on the urban radio right now that are females. I'll name 3 of them. So you've got Mary J, you've got Rihanna, you've got Beyonce. Who are the other 2?
Wait. Are they rappers or singers?
Nope, they're singers.
Oh, man. On urban radio?
Yep. There's 2 others.
I'm scared. One of
Well,
those
I'll just get.
one of them should be Tinashe, but I know it isn't.
It's not. No.
I mean, if they
All right, I'll give you.
wait,
You give up,
it's,
or you?
it's not Sevyn, right?
No, Sevyn is one of them.
Really? What song?
The song with Gucci Mane, so it's
Oh.
not really R&B.
Okay.
And the other one is Mila J. But I wanted to mention Sevyn because her album's actually coming out in January.
Mila
It's finally
J.
coming out.
Mila J. is a single out.
Yeah, it's the Kool and the Gang sample.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Sevyn's coming out with her album soon. She has that new song out that I know you really like. Before I Do, that's
Oh,
like
man.
some '90s R&B.
It's in our top 100 of the year. Great song.
Which is funny because we don't normally post songs, in December of that year to be on our top 100. But I think when we all heard it, we were like, yeah, this is the one.
Right. Well, I don't think
Yeah.
Evan's going to say that, though. You know him.
Yeah. So is this eligible for next year as well, or?
We might have to alter the rules for that.
We might have to see how 2017 R&B goes.
Yeah, remember we thought we were going to have a rough time making a top 100 this time around, but we did get to it. So,
Yeah, I think we all had a lot of similar songs too, which was kind of funny because
Yeah.
it's normally not like that.
right. You mentioned
But yeah, I'm afraid.
Can I add on to this horrible year for R&B argument?
What's up?
You mentioned Mila J. Well, what about her sister Janae Aiko? I can't believe that single she put out, man. Maniac.
Yeah, that was disappointing because she's actually carved up a lane for herself.
I know.
I wouldn't say that we're the biggest Janae supporters on the site because she clearly is targeted to another demographic, but it worked for her and that's what got her to this point. And to see her throw it all away for some, what kind of song is that, Tom? Describe it.
Trendy. I'll just say that much. I mean,
Yeah, like for some trendy music, that's like I get it. She did "Post to Be," it blew up, and clearly she was the highlight of that song. But I think those type of things you just want to see it every so often, as opposed to it being her lead single. But what you gonna do, Tom?
well, the worst part is I feel like she made such great momentum bringing a soulful sound to radio, and now it's like she's just throwing it away. Like she could have opened the door for more of that, and it's over.
Well, we can blame Big Sean for that.
I guess so.
Yeah. But I was
So-
going to say, Tom, I'm really afraid about this Seven Streeter album coming out because, man, like to me, and I love Sevyn, we both love Sevyn, like, I love her grind. Like, she's been grinding for so long, even before her solo career. She was with Rich Girl, and she's worked so hard, but I don't know. I feel like they should have put out the album when It Won't Stop came out, and now we're like 4 years later, and I can't see this going well.
Man, we love Sevyn Streeter too, and she always shows us love. I remember when Atlantic first invited us to go interview her at the label, and that was like 4 years ago. That's crazy.
Exactly.
I just think Atlantic hasn't figured out. It's always unfortunate when an artist gets stuck in this circumstance, but what are you gonna do? I mean, that's the industry. They got to make money.
Yep. Now, Tom, one artist that I'm really excited about, he just put out his EP, and that's Lloyd. He somehow managed to, figure out a situation for himself in 2016 R&B. He had the single True, which is obviously going to be in our top 100, and he just put out his EP. What does Lloyd need to do, knowing the circumstances? What does he need to do to survive in this industry?
Well, he smartened up. He went back to high school and got his diploma, right?
Yep. He sure did that.
So
And now he's posing as Tarzan on his album cover. So.
that's yeah. I don't know about the album cover, but I don't even know if he really has a place. I mean, it's like once you hit 30, it gets tougher every year after that. You're not looked at as cool
Yeah.
anymore. You know, it's tough. That's just the way it goes, though. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's off to a good start, but it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to continue it. And on our end, obviously, Tom, I think, you know, our readers know with certain artists, when we post them on our Facebook page, we always use a specific picture to go with the post, right?
Yep.
So we've got Justin Timberlake with the braids.
Oh man.
We've got Robin Thicke with the Jesus hair.
Yes.
What else we have? Michael Jackson with the tiger.
Yes. I love that one. I love it. I think
I'm
that
trying
might
to
be.
think who else there is.
That might be it.
I think we may have done something on Prince, but I could be wrong.
Oh
but
man,
with Lloyd, I think.
Oh, there's a Chico DeBarge one too. There's like Chico DeBarge from the '80s.
Yeah.
He was wearing like half a shirt. It was
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I think Lloyd's Tarzan album cover is going to have to be included on that very special list.
Wow, he made the list.
Yep, he made the list.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
So, what else is coming out in R&B? We're done with R&B for 2016. There's no more albums.
Yeah, we're done with it. Actually, 2017, I just spoke to Sean Garrett recently in an interview, you know, super producer. He's really hyping up this Avery Wilson project that's coming out. He put out 2 singles. Was it this year or was it last? It was last year, right?
Last year.
You know, Sean was telling us that, you know, those were just teasers, you know, to get us ready for the new album that's coming out. Tom, I got to be honest with you, when I heard that, I knew it was a lie. There's no way that they planned on those being teasers.
And that's someone you're inviting to the podcast? You're calling him a liar? Damn.
Let's keep it real, guys. Like, I get it. The singles didn't work. You got to own up to it, right?
Well,
what's that Usher? What's that Usher line? It's got to count for something, right?
Yeah, but I remember being at a release event for an album, and I'm not going to name the artist, but they told me it pretty much flopped. No one even knew about it. And they said, oh, it's just a soft release. Like, they just make up terms. Soft release?
Yeah.
What is, if it's in the store, how is it a soft release? I mean, remember the term buzz single? I love it.
Yep. I mean, come on. Like, just acknowledge that the single didn't work. Tell them that you're going back in the studio to perfect it, and move on. But don't give us this whole, you know, it's a teaser thing. But, you know, like I said, Sean was really hyping up Avery Wilson's album. Avery Wilson is obviously probably the best young R&B singer out there. And Sean is obviously an established writer and producer. So hopefully we get something in 2017 that's great. Especially from one of these younger artists.
Here's what I've been thinking about. Does this even make sense for an artist? Look what Keith Sweat did. He releases an album like every 5 years, and then he tours, you know, forever. Do you think it even makes sense for artists to release an album? And I have my answer, but you can give me, like, say like a Joe. Should he even bother with another album? What's your answer?
That's interesting. You know what? I'm going to go with, and I'm just speaking in terms of the urban AC artists. I'm going to go with no, it doesn't really make sense. Only because... No, well, here's my thing, though. His single, If I Can Have You Back, or whatever it is, it reached, I think it's, number 3 on Urban AC?
Yeah.
Why not just continually invest your money into singles every, 6 months or whatever, and have the song just blow up on radio? Then at least your voice is always going to be on the radio. Knowing, and knowing that no one's, or rarely anyone's going to buy the album, why not just invest the money into singles? That's my thought anyway. You're
saying only put out singles and don't put out an album?
Yeah, every single that you put out, just push it to radio. Look at the competition on Urban AC.
I think the problem with that is it's hard to make a single every time out, like a hit single. Like, at least if you make 15 songs, one of them is going to be a single. If you just do one song, then what if it's not the one, and then it flops miserably and people hate it? It could hurt the artist.
Well, I mean, on I mean, look at on Urban AC. On Urban AC, I don't think the most important thing is like catchiness or anything that we define as a single. You have a lot of piano ballads on Urban AC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I feel like it can be done. It might be a little crazy to think about it like that, but hey,
what are you
who
saying?
would have thought that?
Are you saying piano ballads aren't hits? I love it. That is true, isn't it?
Come on. Come on.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who would have thought what?
Well, no, like, who would have thought an artist like Major, he's a new artist, but he's top 10 on Urban AC. Like, with no push. Like, I've never, we obviously know him because we're R&B fanatics, but there hasn't, I don't think any of the major outlets have picked up on that song yet. It's top 10 on Urban AC. It's a piano song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have my counterpoint. I think it is important for artists to release an album because I feel like putting out an album leads to more interest in getting booked for tours. If you don't have any new material out, you might not get booked as much, and people might lose. Even if people aren't buying it, I don't think the goal should be sales at this point. I think it should just be strategically used as a way to continue to get booked for shows. That's my opinion. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like if you have a single that's buzzing on radio right now, and you have a decent catalog, you're going to get booked. I don't think the new album is going to, have that much effect as it maybe once did.
I think we're kind of agreeing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you still need to have a single at radio, buzzing, or else no one's going to know the album even came out.
Yeah.
But I still think, I don't know if we've never seen an artist just do singles, so it's hard for me to envision how it would work. I mean, maybe that's the next wave. Maybe that's where artists are going to go. Because
get RL on the line. We're going to sign him to YouKnowIGotSoul Records. We're going to push out singles every 6 months, and we're going to get this going.
Well, you're going to have to sign next. They're back together,
Oh, but they're too expensive, Tom. We just need one.
RL can make hits.
We don't need all.
RL can make hits, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if anyone tries that. I think it would. I think it could work. I mean, we're still waiting for John B's album. Shout out to Miss Superwife. I know she's waiting more than we are, even though we love John B. She's the biggest fan. But it's been almost 5. It's been 5 years now, and he's still getting. He does shows every weekend. His schedule's full, so he doesn't necessarily need the album, but still.
No, I think they're going to stick with the album. I think my idea is probably a little too forward-thinking for the time being, but it'll be interesting to see if that's the route that the industry actually goes in. I doubt it is because there's just too much competition on the other formats, but I think it would work for Urban AC.
What do you mean by competition? What do you mean like by competition not allowing it to work?
On other formats?
Yeah, say you have a hit single, like just imagine, like what was that hip hop artist that had that like joke song out and then he got dropped?
Broccoli? Oh no, I know who you're talking about.
A few years ago, he signed
I forget his
to Def Jam.
Oh, Trinidad James.
Yeah,
Trinidad James.
Like the amount of money he made of sales of singles and of street, plays on YouTube. That's monetized too.
Yeah.
That's profitable.
Yep.
So, what would putting out an album have benefited him?
Nothing, to be honest. I mean, I guess the one problem with that is the image of the artist. I mean, if you're just constantly putting out singles, then maybe you're not going to be viewed as, an artist anymore. You're just going to be a singles artist.
Yeah.
I don't know. On a more interesting news, Tom, I was talking about Broccoli. Didn't you recently get into a fight with someone on Twitter because you dissed Drum?
I'm so glad you brought this up. This person was a supposed supporter of YouKnowIGotSoul, but they argued.
Hey, mate. Whoa, Tom. She might still be a supporter, but go on.
She unfollowed the site.
and now she's not a supporter.
That's so messed up. I'm trying to have a civil debate. I didn't even diss the guy. I just said the type of singing you're going to get in a song like Broccoli is all you're going to hear in the future of mainstream. And
That's a fair comment.
and that was looked at as a diss of that singer because, according to her, he actually can sing, which may or may not be true. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, if you present yourself in a way like Broccoli, that's all we know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's unfair because maybe he does have other music out and we just haven't listened to it yet. But, to your point, I think you were just saying that this is the standard on urban right now. And if we're going to let that be the standard, then you can expect a lot more of those type of songs.
Well, I did call him Broccoli Guy.
It's okay.
But that's how he presents himself, so what am I supposed to do?
Yep. You know what's interesting, though? I was on Amazon today. Sometimes I like to read the Amazon reviews because, a lot of the users usually post a review after, they listen to the album when it comes out. I think our reader, Derek Dunn, actually reviews a lot of albums on Amazon. But, I was looking up reviews on Maya's debut album. It came out in, 1998, I believe?
99, was it?
98, 99. And, there's actually reviews from that time when the album came out. So in 1999, people were saying Maya can't sing.
I mean,
And it's like, okay, if Maya can't sing, then what's this Broccoli dude? On that song. Let me save myself there. What is the Broccoli dude on that song considered?
oh boy, the tweets are already rolling in.
Right?
Yeah, we haven't even posted
Tweets
this yet.
are-
Jeez.
Man,
Well,
rough, Tom.
it's like I said, if you go from Shaka Khan to Maya, you're going to think she can't sing. But that's just it's not fair to even compare.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Wait a second.
Crazy, Tom.
I just thought of something. Do we have any female versions of Future? Like all these new style Ty Dolla Sign, Future, etc. Do we have any female versions of that?
Ed would probably give you a better answer than I do. No, I don't. I guess that 7th Streeter song is sort of.
No, I mean like an
Future-esque.
artist, though. And like an artist who is just, that's their style now.
Beats me. There might be on SoundCloud somewhere.
It probably is somewhere, but there's none in the mainstream if it's interesting to me.
Not yet, anyway.
Oh, can't wait.
Yep. Now, moving on to 2017 really quickly, Tom. 3 artists right now that you're looking forward to new music from. Who's on your mind right now?
Can I pull up my list of... we did have a list of artists who needed to drop an album in 2016. And a lot of them did.
Can we... All right.
Okay, let me go back to that, because that's still relevant. Not everyone did.
Yeah. Because I got a couple to add to that list.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Well, while we're waiting, why don't you tell me who's at the top of your mind?
I'm drawing a blank here. I'm drawing a blank here, Tom. I had it. We'll wait for your list first.
Oh, man.
It'll probably come back to me. Yeah. I'm on one right now, so.
Well, we did get Maxwell, who we were waiting for a long time, and we didn't know. We're waiting for 112 still. I mean, they were rumored to be working on music. Well, we're waiting for Brandy still. That's another one.
That's one we tweeted out yesterday. We're past 4 years now, so a Brandy album should be surfacing, and we've heard nothing about it. So, what else are we gonna do, Tom? Aside from waiting?
And a Brandy fan tweeted us that they don't mind the wait. They said they don't if it's shorter than 4 years, then it's too often. I never heard that one before. Like, who doesn't want new music? I don't know.
Yeah, especially because, 4 years is a lot of time,
Yeah.
especially for someone like Brandy, who I think is only, she's literally separated every album, by 4 years. So there can't be that much Brandy music out there.
Right. Who else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Well,
I
what
had
is-
someone in mind, but
What is the sweet spot that all right, I got the list, but before I go,
yep.
what's the sweet spot of it? Personally, I like 2 years. Every 2 years.
2 to 3 years. Here's the problem, though, Tom. Back in the day, R&B and hip hop and just the sound of radio, it would change every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So you would always get something fresh from the artist. It seems like this turn-up thing has been going on for, I want to say 4 years now.
Yeah.
Has it been going on? It's been going on for quite some time, and we seem to be stuck in that. And so, with that said, like a lot of urban AC artists, they don't adapt to those type of sounds, and thankfully they don't. But if they don't do that, then they're stuck to recreating the same thing that they've done in the past. And creating an album every 2 years of stuff that sounds the same as something you did, 2 years ago, it doesn't really work from a longevity standpoint, in my opinion, anyway.
I mean, I guess. But what if you love the album and you want to hear more of it?
Well, looking at 2016, I don't know how many albums that you want to hear more of.
Oh, come on,
I don't know.
man. We have our top 10
Come on.
list. All right. You ready for these artists?
Let me shake.
The artist we've been waiting the longest for now probably is A-Marie.
Yep.
I don't know if she's ever going to come out with another album.
A-Marie and LaToya, man. I don't think you're right. I don't think either of them will.
Well, LaToya, she just put out a new single.
Yeah, she put out a single like 2 years ago as well. And where's the album?
Well, at least she's signed to a label to put out an album, but she's been acting, I think, or
She's on
something.
TV now. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
on TV now.
So next up, we said 112. Anthony Hamilton came out. We're still waiting on Brandy. Carl Thomas. He hasn't had one since, I think, 2011.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what the holdup is there. Chico DeBarge, it's been since 2009, I think. So
Yeah.
that's going on 8 years. Deborah Cox, I'm not sure how long it's been. I think at least 5 years. El DeBarge, it's
Yep.
been about 6 years. Eric Benet just came out. Fantasia came out. Genuine, our boy. His last album was what, 2010, 11?
10?
10, yeah.
2000, yeah.
What do you think the holdup is for him?
He does a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I don't think his focus is making music anymore. I mean, to be fair, he did put out TGT like 3
Right.
years ago, so that sort of counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he loves the stage. He's not real. Didn't he say this once? He doesn't enjoy the studio. Could have sworn he said that, but
yeah. Yep.
So then John B. Maxwell came out. Music Soul Child came out. Raphael Sadiq, I don't know if he'll ever. Who knows what's going on with him?
I mean, he just did Solange's album, so that's probably his focus now.
Yeah, which is fine.
That's fair. I mean, he probably made so much more money doing that album.
Yeah.
But
So that wraps up the list.
yeah, Mario obviously is one I had in mind, but that wasn't really the one that I was thinking about. When was the last Keisha Cole album? That's been a while, hasn't it?
2013 was it?
Oh, 2014. Oh, it's only been 2 years. Do we count that album? It wasn't very good.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm just kidding.
You know who was
Anywho, Tom.
one more surprise that didn't get nominated for a Grammy was Tank.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, I don't
because he was on a major, and I don't know.
Yeah, but none of his songs were really like. What category would you put it in?
the traditional performance R&B or whatever the hell they were, whatever the hell they called it. I'm just kidding. I don't
That's
know.
fair.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yep.
I don't think that label thing is ever going to work out, though. Are they still going to go with that?
I don't know.
Damn.
R&B money? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times are rough. All right, Tom. We've been at this for about an hour now. Let's get into our food discussion really quickly.
Can I just say one more thing?
Busy people.
One more thing about Tank, just for Lachelle Wallace. Tank is the most posted artist we have on our site with 153 posts.
Wow.
That's 48 posts ahead of Raheem Devon. I'm sure she'll be excited about that.
Oh Lord.
All right, moving into the food.
All right, food discussion. I'm trying to think here.
Dude,
well, we got the holidays coming up.
Chris Brown is our 4th most posted artist. I blame you for that one.
We got to embrace all of it. Hey, Chris Brown is still R&B. I mean, he's probably the last one.
Yeah. Jeez.
Before they ventured off into that trap stuff.
All right.
Oh, you know who I was gonna say? I was gonna say Trey Songz. For a guy of his stardom, it's kind of been a while.
Well, he did have those few projects and surprise mixtapes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, we've got the food discussion coming up, Tom. Let's change it a little bit. Let's not talk about food. Let's talk about Christmas presents. We all love Christmas presents. What's something that you enjoyed receiving on Christmas when you were younger? What's your most memorable gift?
When I was a kid, I loved Legos. That comes to mind for some reason. That's kind of nerdy, though, I think. I used to build castles and stuff. And then that got boring fast, and I moved on to video games. Man, it was the best for getting video games on Christmas. Yep. What's yours?
Well, so when I was younger, my aunt would always get me a Batman action figure. Each year, I would receive a new Batman action figure. And then when I, got into video games, I remember when I was, I think, it was 1998. I got an N64 for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it came with the James Bond 007 GoldenEye game.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that game right there is probably, that's a top 10 game of all time.
Oh, definitely. The multiplayer? Oh, man.
Yep.
Golden Gun? Jeez.
Yeah. All right, Tom, what is your least favorite Christmas gift?
Of course, when you get clothes. Who wants clothes for Christmas?
Socks,
a button-up shirt? Yep. Ooh, new underwear.
Is that what Marlene got you this year?
We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully not.
And then we'll have a part 2 of this podcast.
It better come with a receipt if so.
Damn. Well, it'd be interesting to see what everyone else got for Christmas. Miss Superwife, you got to tell us what you got.
Yeah, we got to hear everyone's. Yep. Especially if there's CDs under the tree.
Oh, man. Oh, man. No, I think those days are gone.
Yeah.
That used to be a thing once upon a time, though. I'll tell you a funny story, Tom.
I don't even have a CD player in the house.
Did you have a CD player on your computer?
No.
Damn, times are changing. I'll tell you a funny story before we get out of here. So, I was in 9th grade at the time, right? And those that know me know that, I was a huge Ashanti stan. Or fan, I don't want to use the word stan. That gets us in trouble. I was a big Ashanti fan. There's this girl that I liked in high school. I'm not going to say her name. But as a Christmas gift, I got her the Ashanti Concrete Rose album. CD, I got it in the store, Tom.
Wow.
And then she listened to it. I asked her what she thought. She told me she only liked 2 songs on the album.
Damn. And then it was over.
It was tough.
That's when you knew it was over.
And yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
What song? What 2 songs?
Okay. See, I remember this too. That's what makes it funny. So the first one was the single "Only You," and the second song was "Freedom."
Freedom. Huh.
I remember really being upset about this because she didn't like "Don't Let Them." She didn't like "Don't Leave Me Alone." She didn't like the song with Lloyd. It was disappointing.
She probably did. She probably did the. I think she did the Buddha sample to these songs. That's the only explanation.
And for everyone listening there, the Buddha sample is when I listen to a song for 20 seconds and determine if it's a good song or not. I think Lachelle Wallace actually... No, our guest Lachelle still does that. She goes on Amazon and previews a song for 30 seconds and then makes her decision on whether she likes it or not.
Wow.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. But, anywho, I know we've got another podcast that we're going to be doing. We're going to get Ed on it. It's going to be a lot more fun. I had a couple of ideas for this podcast that I really wanted to, do, but we need Ed for it. So, Tom... I'll probably talk to you soon for our next podcast, but until then, we're out.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.